Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp again with another brew review, and well, as is tradition by now, I will be reviewing a beer of the brewery I talked about yesterday, being Amstel. Even though Amstel is a true and true Dutch brewery, we did see that they spread out all over the world and they appear to be very popular in Spain as well. So again, I'm not starting with the original, I'm starting with the specialty beer. Today we're having the Amstel Oro Cerveza Tostada, 6.2% ABV specialty beer that I brought home from a trip to Calpe. Oro and tostada literally translate to gold and toasted, and essentially that's what this is, their beer but toasted. Cerveza Tostada is a popular style in parts of Spain and actually is nothing more or less than a beer a bit darker in color, yet still rather light in ABV, so a dark light beer. Anyway, it's made with toasted malts and every manufacturer has their own idea or recipe, just like with the Doble Malta. Amstel Oro is also a reference to the Amstel Gold Lager that was brewed by Amstel in the Netherlands from the 1950s until it was discontinued in 2015. The Amstel Gold races were actually named after this beer. In this case, we can find a lot of info right on the can. For starters, look at that beautiful design, a much calmer and more tranquil version of the original. And the bright red backdrop made place for a nice classy matte dark blue. The red in the logo was replaced with gold to emphasize the name, but of course also to make the shape of a well-poured beer. Red has been used in this minor detail here, which is the word Cerveza Tostada, and the gold and white inside the circle made me thirsty. In the ring, around the logo, which has been filled up with the same dark matte blue, we can read some words, just like in the old logo, but here we see something different. In the top half we read Receta Maestra Bilbao Valencia. Now this doesn't mean that it's brewed in Bilbao or Valencia. This is said to be brewed after a traditional master recipe or masterful recipe from brewers from the olden days in Bilbao and Valencia. At the bottom we have maltas tostadas and tres tiempos. So malts roasted in 3 steps, and underneath they actually explain the 3 steps being secado, tostación y golpe de fuego, which sounds quite promising. This actually means dried, roasted and fire blown. So they must have employed a dragon somewhere. With all that talk about ingredients, colors and flavors, I've gotten very curious. So I suggest we don't procrastinate. Okay, let's open this thing and let's find out these results for ourselves. Like I said, a lot of gold details, a gold top, and I actually really love this design. Like I said, it's simple, it's calm, it's tranquil. Smells a bit odd, but very nice. I actually do get some roasty scents in there. I do get some bready smells, so it's quite malty, bready, even a bit like baked, not cookies, but okay, let's see how this goes. Already a very nice color. Good swirl in there. Quite nice carbonation. Lovely foam. So the color, I would call this more brownish, yeah, more amber-like, and yeah, a bit coppery, amber-like, and some nice, slightly off-white, leaning towards beige foam, quite dense foam as well, some nice tiny bubbles. Let's see how it smells when opened up. Yeah, still toasted, not necessarily roasted or burnt. A bit breathy, a bit bitter as well, so slightly hoppy. So. Yeah, somewhere between a bakery and a brewery. But anywho, I'm very curious as to how this tastes. Cheers, you guys. Actually tastes just like it smells. It does remind me of bock beer, which is of course a classic specialty of Amstel. It's what it all began with, not the Pilsner that we know. So, yeah, nice. A very pleasant surprise. It is rather heavily carbonated, and most of the time beer in cans is a bit less carbonated, but here that doesn't seem to be a problem. And the initial taste, the initial taste is actually a nice, dry, bitter, very drinkable, thin, refreshing beer, and that is quite a lot to have in the initial taste, in the first peak. So yeah, I really like this. It is very refreshing. It is very thirst quenching as well, and I do think that is very drinkable. It is, what did I say, 6.2% ABV? Yes, 6.2%. So it is on the heavy side for an all-nighter, but nonetheless very possible. And this also reminds me not only of bock beer, but also a bitter version of the special bells, like a Bolleke de Koning or yeah, that style. So I do like that it's a bit less sweet. Also the color reminds me of a Bolleke. Very nice. And what stands out is that it is toasted, not necessarily roasted, so you don't get the coffee flavors, you don't get the burnt flavors or aromas. So actually this is quite balanced. I know a lot of people who wouldn't like this, by the way, but I really do. And at the price point that this is, I can't remember exactly what I paid for it, but it was in the supermarket and it was absolutely not expensive. Although I'm not gonna put it on the dirt cheap playlist, but it was rather inexpensive. So yeah, how bad can it be? I think this is ideal for spicy barbecue, for example. For our American friends, have this with buffalo wings. Would be really cool. The flavor will stand out over the spicy wings, and you won't lose all flavor like a New England IPA or something, combined with something spicy. But I digress again and again, I always do. Yeah, the aftertaste also lingers on and is mostly bitter. I get a lot of bitter in my nasal cavity as well, in the back of the mouth, the throat. Very nice. Like I said, very thirst quenching as well. And it is like 32 or 33 degrees centigrade here. Yeah, this is absolutely refreshing. I'm drinking this at about 6 degrees, I believe, because my fridge is actually calibrated for the heavier beers. But nonetheless, very refreshing, and actually a shame that I'm not in the garden right now. So, to round things up and to move to that garden, how would I score this beer? I do think that this is a 3.5. It's not necessarily my style, but it is a very well made beer, and I think this is very good in its style as well. Yeah, looks lovely. Also very clear, by the way. That scent, yeah, like I said, it's yeah, toasty. It's rounds it up. It already smells like a barbecue, so perfect. And yeah, taste wise, like I said, I really like this. So let's call this a 3.5. It's nothing special, but doesn't have to be, and it is just a lovely beer. So cheers, you guys. As usual, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, maybe share it somewhere, that would help me greatly. Apart from that, if you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon, you'll get notified whenever I upload something. And yeah, leave something in the comments if you like this video, if you have any experience with this beer yourself, or you want to request something. Go ahead, comments are open, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And on that note, I will see you guys again, yeah, either tomorrow with a brewery breakdown, or the day after with a brew review, or maybe even both. Cheers!